Actually, maybe we should just set it over here, huh?
Yeah. We can do it. How's it going, guys? Happy Friday, November 5th. It's the Bringin It Home Show. Tucker?
How you guys doing? Happy Friday. November is here. We still don't have snow on the ground here in Iowa. That is a perfectly okay thing. The corn, it came down yesterday, as we will talk about. Harvest has occurred. The field has no more corn right now, but the grass is still extremely green. And again, there's no snow on the ground, so we're doing extra good this time around. To our Instagram people, how's it going, Dreamers? Welcome back, as always, to the Bringin It Home Show. We are across platforms right now. We got Instagram on one. We got all the other platforms on another. We're going to try to make sure we're not too blown out by this light right now, which on Instagram we appear to be slightly
just a little bit
overbalanced. Let's just see here. I don't know. Let's see what we're doing. Try to get our light good here, guys. Oh, boy. That doesn't seem to help. You know what? We're going to bounce it off the wall.
Oh, no. Wash that on.
Oh, boy. We're now even worse on light. Bear with us, guys, while we figure out the perfect lighting here. You know what? That's fine. We're going to go with it. Well, surprisingly, this computer's light is incredible right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we are back for another installation of the Bringin It Home Show. Like I said, across platforms, it's November 5th. It's a Friday. It is 5:05 right now here in Dubuque, Iowa, right down the road, rather, from the Field of Dreams. Instagram people, as we were just telling our other audience here across Facebook and Twitter, the corn was harvested yesterday, but the grass is still very green at the Field of Dreams. The weather is unseasonably warm right now. It is still really in the high 40s and 50s, and there has been no snow yet. So knock on wood, we don't get some snow for a while. But it's been great weather to continue baseball playing out at the Field of Dreams. We've seen quite a few people still playing in a time of year where normally it'd be too cold to be playing.
Amen to that. In the 60s this weekend, so it'll be nice. Probably the last weekend. I don't want to jinx anything, but probably the last good baseball playing and decent weekend that we have yet for the season. First snowfall, a couple of weeks away. Could be sooner than that. You never know.
Could be tomorrow. Could be tomorrow. We never can guess on the snowfall. Yeah. But nonetheless, baseball weather has continued far longer than we would have expected, which has been amazing.
And it's outlasted the season.
That, and we also had a harvest yesterday where it wasn't raining, snowing, or freezing. Mm-hmm. In the past years, it has almost always been absolutely unbearably cold and windy. Yeah. And yesterday, we got to go sit yesterday in pretty warm weather. I mean, you could wear a sweatshirt out there and almost overheat. It was so nice yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was great to see a year of corn being harvested, out there, and to see the farmer with the harvester coming through is always a cool experience. And it's also symbolic of kind of closing the year out.
That's right.
On our end, which is really, really cool to see as well.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Pivot Bio, fertilizer company out there, little chemical engineering going on. It's amazing what science can do. And they're helping bring out the natural nitrogen in the soil to be able to do that organically rather than chemically manufacturing that nitrogen. So being able to bring out the natural chemicals in the soil through this fertilizer that they've got. So big shout out to Pivot Bio, national company out there, having a location based out of Dyersville, our hometown. So great to have their support, proud sponsor of the Field of Dreams movie site and fertilizer that's being utilized by the Ray family. So a big shout out to them as well. The family that takes care of and nurtures the farmland at the movie site. So Big shout out to them. It was fun yesterday.
And it was great because, we had guessed all year at how tall that corn would be when it stopped growing. And it was probably in the 8-foot range. It was extremely tall corn this year. Obviously had lost its color by, several weeks ago, really. But again, to see it all come to a close with the harvest yesterday was something awesome. If you haven't,
it's a bittersweet moment.
Bittersweet, nonetheless, yes, very much so. If you haven't seen our TikTok of that yet, go ahead and head on over to TikTok or to Instagram to see the photos, to Facebook to see the photos. There's tons more content of harvest coming your way. We like to show you guys something unique that a lot of people don't get to see. But there were actually quite a few people out there yesterday observing the harvest and taking pictures, which is always really cool for people to be able to experience something like that. For all of you, out there who are farmers and maybe are farm enthusiasts, it's a cool sight to see, to say that you saw the corn come down at the Field of Dreams movie site in Dyersville. Now the corn is down, though. You can see for probably the better part of a mile. There's a lot more distance now to the property, which is always a cool tribute as well.
Yeah, for sure. We'll touch on. Kind of want to end the show latter note in terms of our favorite moments of the season.
Yep, absolutely.
That's important as we start to wind down for the season. But important, if you're looking for your Field of Dreams gear out there and your apparel, stop over to our online store. If you're not able to come out, quick reminder as well, we are only open during the weekends for the month of November for home tours, and Monday through Fridays right now, the month of November, 48 hours advance notice. So if you want to come out, take a home tour, you have to book online exclusively 48 hours in advance in order to do that, just because of the low traffic that we experience this time of year. But regardless, come on out to the Field of Dreams, run those bases, have a catch, imagine that the corn is there to walk in and out of. Sit on those bleachers and take a picture of that carving that is still there on the original set of bleachers along the first baseline. Pretty magical still this time of year, even though it's a little bit chilly. So do that. FOD gear for the holiday season. Stop on our online store. A bunch of good things to choose from there. Great selection and perfect for the Field of Dreams dreamer in your life.
True that.
Also, daylight savings time. Right around.
Oh gosh, yeah, we're gaining.
Set your watches. Sunday.
You get to sleep an hour extra, which is going to be nice, of course, as always it is.
Yep. And I know it's a little, in my opinion, in our opinion, and in the Field of Dreams opinion, it's never premature to say thank you to the veterans out there for everything that you've done. Never forget. November 11th, Veterans Day, right around the corner. So treat your grandparents out there or the veteran in your family to a brunch or take them out. Thank you card. I don't care what it is. Thank them because they fight for our rights every day or did out there, whether it was at home, domestically, or abroad. Everything that they sacrificed for us for the freedoms that we get that others don't have the luxury of having. So definitely thank you guys for everything. And let me see. Mal says, what does he say here? With the corn gone, the last few shows, Tucker said he was hitting close to the corn. Was he hitting from the path to the corn?
No. Actually, you know what, Mal? We haven't. We're going to have to soon here, hopefully before it snows, take some batting practice out there without corn because it's a very different look. I don't think you've seen it out here without corn either, but it makes everything. It gives an extra element of depth to everything because you can see the MLB field clear now from our site with no corn because it reveals the flat land that really exists on that portion. Now, the right field side is not much flat land. As you know, it kind of starts to go uphill. And there actually is a even steeper hill over the back there by the power lines where you can climb up there. So we will have to go take some BP out there now, Mal. That there is no corn. It's always it's fun. Maybe we'll even, maybe when the snow starts up, we'll do a little video playing baseball in the snow. Depends on how cold it gets. That's the thing.
And you'd have to pop up for me to catch it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's lost in the snow, depending on obviously the amount of snow and everything.
Hopefully not much snow this year though. Either way.
Well, let's hope not. Let's talk Fall Classic.
Yeah. The World Series was exciting. It was a team that was expected to be there and a team that if you said in July would be in the World Series, not a chance. No one. Yeah, no one would have guessed that. No one ever would have seen the Braves being in the World Series in July, much less winning the World Series. Yep. But you talk about the greatest underdog team to root for, a team that is not in the top 10 in spending on their payroll, a team of guys that a lot of them have been there for a very long time.
Seasoned team.
You look at Freddie Freeman, who was drafted in 2007 by the Braves. Yep. The guy has been there since 2007. Who's a free agent now. You should add too, yeah.
And a lot say, that they were washed up. the Braves had missed their opportunity. But you got Acuna Jr., you got a lot of these guys here that young rookies that this team was on the cusp of something special for a while.
It's crazy.
And had missed the boat for a couple of years. So you look at it, a lot of people said, postseason, yes, but are they going to fall apart again?
Yeah.
And they didn't. They held through. And that's too, I think injuries from the Dodgers played a large part of it, because the Dodgers kind of petered out at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And, with Kershaw, and that's the problem with Kershaw.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, still, I think
that's true.
I don't think it's premature to say that he's a Hall of Famer.
No, not much at all. Well, you also have to consider think about. And then if you take the payroll route, we were just, mesmerized by the fact that the Dodgers have the second highest payroll in all of Major League Baseball, only second to the Yankees by quite a bit, we should say. But the Braves are nowhere near the Dodgers payroll.
Over 100 million difference.
100 million difference, many stars difference, everything. They're from two completely different worlds when it comes to a baseball operation standpoint. When it comes to
it's almost
players.
I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but it's almost like a David versus Goliath thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
the underdog, the ultimate underdog.
What you couldn't have cast a better underdog to win the World Series in the Braves.
Yeah,
a lovable team. Lovable team.
I mean, I would say that, the Cubs obviously were that in 2016.
Right.
But looking at it now, a long drought, right? 26 years.
Yeah.
I would say that the Indians were,
the now Guardians.
Yeah, I was just going to say. But Cleveland
Yep.
would be a team that everyone, I think, would be happy with winning, and is a feel-good story because it's been so long. Now they have the longest drought now because thanks to the Cubs.
That's true.
But I don't want to take anything away from the Atlanta Braves. I mean, everything that they did this year.
Awesome.
Jorge Soler.
Awesome.
A lot of Cub fans are, I'm a big Cub fan. So on all the Facebook pages and everything, all you're seeing is, I wish we still had him. That was one of the biggest mistakes. Now, the timing was right. It's a money game. The Cubs had a lot of pieces to the puzzle that they needed to pay up and decided to move on from. But you know what? Good for Jorge. I think MVP, 3 homers. That Game 6 was amazing.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, just all around great performance.
And a great person. And, I'm just going to rattle off some of his stats here in 2021. His WAR was, and this is the incredible thing too, when you look at it, okay, the MVP.
Yeah.
All right. His WAR, okay, wins above replacement is a Saber metric, Society for Analytical Baseball Research. And it's negative 0.4. Now, what that means, okay, so what the wins above replacement measures is the wins that you contribute above second in line. So second string. Mm-hmm. How much more valuable are you? He actually contributes a 4/10 of a loss compared to the next.
Which is insane. Which is absolutely insane.
So it's a loss above replacement in this sense. So he's actually less valuable than your average replacement. But he had his at-bats, 516, quite a few appearances.
Yep.
115 hits.
Yep.
So over 20% of the time, he's making contact. And
which is remarkable within itself.
Yeah. So great. 27 home runs and a batting average of 223. Average. But again, you look at what David Murphy was able to do.
Yeah.
With.
That's a good point.
I think it was the Indians.
Would have been the Indians.
Yeah, it was originally the Indians.
Yeah.
And came off and just hot. I mean, the guy set the world on.
You have that player.
Fire.
You have that player. And this time it was Soler.
Yeah. And Soler and Arozarena did a great job, and he's been pretty consistent. But I think the playoffs and World Series lit a fire under him because he just took that.
No, and talk about, you talk about Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson won a College
Yeah.
World Series with Vanderbilt. Now won a Major League World Series with the Braves. Went to high school about 11 miles from the Braves Stadium.
It's amazing.
Wins the World Series in his hometown. Has a monster home run. In that game that they win.
Hometown boy makes it.
How many different storylines do we have in the Braves?
Yeah.
You got Freddie Freeman, been there since 2007. Jorge Soler, his own storyline. Dansby Swanson, his own storyline. Even down to the management and down to the base coaches. I mean, you have guys who have worked their entire lives to win a World Series, many of which have been in the position very close. Another storyline, Jock Peterson, won a World Series with the Dodgers, gets traded to the Cubs. He's with the Cubs for a little while, gets released by the Cubs or traded by the Cubs to the Braves, ends up with the Braves, wins another World Series, 3 teams, 2 years, 2 World Series.
Yep.
How many different
I know.
It's bizarre.
But you look at it on the other end, too, and you've got an iconic manager, one of the best in the game, Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
And the guy just can't win a World Series.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him.
know.
But you know what?
I know.
I mean, his success rate, and you can tell he's on the cusp of it, like Joe Madden
Very much
was
so.
for a while with
Very much
Tampa,
so. Yep.
is that he's on the cusp of something now.
Very
because
close.
For a while, after his tenure with the Cubs,
Yep.
you go into the postseason with the Nationals, and it's just absolutely abysmal. It was horrible, his record.
That's right.
And being able to rise above that now and get to the big show, the top stage,
Pretty remarkable.
the World Series, granted, yes, the Astros, 9th payroll in the league.
Yeah. Top 10 payroll.
A lot of stars.
Yeah.
Right? So
a lot of stars that are now in free agency.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how he can ride that.
Dusty Baker is not. Dusty Baker's been re-signed.
Right. He's coming back. Yep. He's coming back in 2022. So it'll be interesting. So can he ride the ship here? Because good managers can.
True.
Is he going to be able to, if a lot of those faces leave, what does that look like?
Yeah, good point. What does your look like?
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, you even look at just the top 5 free agents across the league. You got Carlos Carrera, Corey Seager, Chris Bryant, Max Scherzer, and Trevor Story, just among the top 5 that we come across here. But it's remarkable how many big names are up for free agency now. So, like you said,
Carlos Carrera.
Yeah. What does the Houston Astros roster look like next year? What does the Dodgers look like next year? What do a lot of these teams look like next year?
Yeah.
The Braves, though, have a lot of, I would say, more certainty than most teams.
I would say that for sure.
Which is remarkable.
Yeah. Because it's very normal. I should say it's not abnormal for a World Series team to lose half their squad. Because a majority of the time, you've got these teams that bring in the superstar payroll, the superstar lineup for a one-and-done run.
True.
And it's, especially a lot of the teams out there with low payrolls, is if they do have a lot of stars that they bring in, for a fact that it's an all-in type of season.
That's a good point.
And injuries and everything else can plague you so easily.
Yeah.
And I think that it got the Dodgers this year is because they didn't have that depth.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You had the young guys, you had the Jock Petersons of the world years ago.
That's true.
Where those were up and coming stars that were there, that were great pieces and starters in their own right anywhere else in the league, but were up and coming still. So those guys were your backups.
Yeah. That was remarkable to think about that. It's crazy.
Depth is most important, I think, in baseball.
Yeah.
Especially because of the length of the season.
Yeah. Well, we saw that all these teams, riddled with injuries. Nobody was safe from injuries this year.
No.
It was one of those years where injuries crushed the league and crushed a lot of very big players too.
Well, and Darvish, you feel for him because he's, again, you talk about an outstanding pitcher, one of the best arms in Major League Baseball, has been on the cusp of winning the Cy Young, and an outstanding guy. Just very baseball focused. He will talk analytics with you. He'll talk his game. He's very blunt about it. He's not going to sugarcoat his performance. He's all in. He always has been. And the fact that he, riddled with injuries throughout his career, very disappointing for him, and definitely played a huge part in the fact that the Padres weren't able to punch it in to the postseason. So I don't know. You look at it, the Giants were able to struggle through.
Yeah, the Giants they battled through a lot. That's a good point as well. Yeah.
And the Mariners almost were able to punch their ticket in. Just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it is. Regardless, though, that's where Major League Baseball stands right now.
Yeah, and you talk about the free agents. Chris Bryant.
Yep.
A lot of the Cubs players that were traded out before the deadline are now free agents again, because this was the last year. Jed Hoyer, the president of operations for the Chicago Cubs and was the general manager, that has now fallen into the hands of another employer they hired. But and that's employee, excuse me. But that's another story. Regardless, the reason they made that move was because it was the final year of their contract, and a lot of offers were made to those guys that were declined. So instead of letting them go out into the season at that point, they were tanking. They the bottom had fallen out in July. It was abysmal for them. And the surprising fact was they started the year pretty hot.
I was going to say they did, yeah. That's a good point. Well, you also look at another guy, Albert Pulhos.
Yes.
Is playing right now in the Winter League. He's already playing again, which is the guy he won't stop playing. Does he end up back with the Dodgers? Does he end up back in Major League Baseball? Does he go a coaching route? Does he officially retire?
No, I think if he doesn't get an offer, he's probably done. But I think the Cardinals pick him up for like a day
and retire.
And he retires the Cardinal. He have to. And nothing against the Dodgers or anything. But
his legacy was with the Cardinals.
Yeah,
that's just a fact.
I truly think so.
Yeah, I agree.
Max Scherzer?
I think he stays with the Dodgers. I think he stays with the Dodgers, especially due to the uncertainty of Trevor Bauer right now. We don't know what's going on with him, nor will he. Do we know?
I can see that there's a bidding war for him, though.
With Scherzer?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think there's going to be a bidding war, and I think it's going to be between them and the Yankees.
I think the Giants might be in there too.
Yeah, the Giants could be.
Yeah.
So I think those three are really going to put in a bid on Max and go all in, because honestly, the guy doesn't really have any signs of slowing down.
Nope. No, he's fully in himself. He knows what he's doing, and he's hit a very comfortable point.
But he got injured.
Yep.
So that's the true. And that's the only thing that I would say that hinders his chances.
Yeah.
Or hurts him a little bit, because again, the age factor, right? He's in his 30s. He's a pitcher. That's not a position that you can last that long in the league. He was doing well, but with the injury, does that change things? Because guys like Cole Hansen for the Chicago Cubs, great, got injured, came back, had a good year with the Cubs his first year. The second year was he was not. Very average. So, the quality can go down, especially with your age. So I just worry about that for him. Is he a guy that could thrive still in the league somewhere? I think so. But is he going to be, he could be a bullpen guy. But starting rotation, does he have it? I think he does.
Yeah.
But injury, just good thing to think of. Trevor Story as well.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. A lot of good stuff going on. A lot of questions.
And Javier Baez, I believe, is still up.
Yeah. What the scene looks like for a lot of these star players next year, we don't know right now. I'm sure we'll find out in the coming months. Spring training is about 3 months away, so we'll start to have an idea closer to that, I would think.
And we say goodbye to some familiar faces and franchise players out there that have just retired. Buster Posey.
Absolutely. One of the greatest to do it.
Yeah, amazing.
Yep.
You look at an iconic guy, kind of the quarterback of your team, and he's been there so long. He's like Molina in the way.
Yeah.
Just in terms of a franchise guy, team leader. But he was just a yes man. He was put your head down.
He's a very likable player.
He didn't really say anything.
Yep.
I mean, he didn't put himself in danger.
That's true.
He was a team player, gave back to the community, and was one of those guys, like Mike Trout, right?
Yep.
Mike Trout doesn't really say much.
No, that's true.
And Posey was the same way. Hats off to him.
Yeah.
Class act. Definitely, you could tell, kind of like Ben Roethlisberger right now, kind of riding the ship, hoping to get another ring. Posey was definitely that way, hanging on. Unfortunately, no. But you know what? Good for him. Does he have a ring?
He does. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got good.
He's got it. I think 2.
I think he got 2. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I could look that up easy.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Either way, any closing thoughts?
Yeah. Can we talk favorite moments real quick? 2021.
Yeah.
At the Field of Dreams.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the Barstool Barn Burner. I thought that was an awesome event. It was very enjoyable, a very fun day, a very relaxed day.
Yeah.
Everyone was having a good time. Nobody was stressed.
No.
It was just, there was fun in the air. It was lighthearted. It brought together players from all over the country, all over our area. We saw guys that we knew out there. We saw guys that we'd seen on TV out there playing
Tim
against each other.
Flattery, a lot of familiar fate.
We get to see guys, like Dallas Braden and Johnny Gomes and Eric Sims for you who are on YouTube.
Yeah.
We got to see a lot of guys that we enjoyed their content. We enjoyed their careers. And then we get to see a lot of guys that, we didn't know of going into it, but we now do. There was a former state politician on one of the teams.
Yep.
There was the storylines through the Barstool Barn Burner were thick. Everyone had a good story on how they ended up there. Everyone was having a phenomenal time being there. We enjoyed it a huge amount. That's one of the days we get to look back on and think about how much fun we had even working that day.
Yeah,
it was
great. I mean, just, Johnny Gomes drinking a few cold ones.
Yeah.
Knocking a few back at the field, and to see him compete, because he was taking it serious in the game. And he mentioned that too.
Right.
At a former episode, I talk exclusively with Johnny Gomes, World Series champion, most widely known for being a Red Sox. But definitely check that out on our IGTV. If you haven't, you can go through former episodes, any previous episodes.
Yeah, lots and lots of them now.
Check on them. 2 years now in the making, actually, this month. So I know you got to go, so we'll make this a little brief here.
Oh, I was just getting an update that a moose broke onto a football field from Bleacher Report. So Bleacher Report's keeping me updated on my watch, but a moose broke onto a football field.
Where?
I don't know, but I got a 3-sentence headline, and it was a moose.
Colorado or something?
There was a moose in a football field. I don't know where it was, but that was breaking news on my watch just now.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Your favorite moment?
You stole mine, but awesome. So thank you. And I don't want to be that guy that says the MLB game, so I'm not gonna choose that either. You threw me off here because I had that one. God, there were so many.
Sandlot was great. That's an option.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, that's up there.
See, that's great mindset.
Yeah, that's definitely up on my top 3.
Yes, the Sandlot Baseball Bash, 23rd, 24th of August, Monday, Tuesday night was great. We're looking at getting those guys back, and a big thank you and shout out to Brett Spears, the Tulsa Rumblers, Cap City Cobras, the Nashville Dollies, the Hog Line, Pillbox Bats. I mean, so many that.
Another extremely lighthearted, fun event with guys turning into kids out there.
That's great. I mean,
quite a bit more competitive, we should add. There's quite a bit of competition.
Well, of course. I mean, you know what, though? Brett had said it best, right? These are guys that their playing days are long gone.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys are not very good at baseball.
But they love that.
And they know that.
And
they're fine with it.
Yeah.
But they're still competitive. Yeah. They still go out there. They have fun. These guys put 50, 60-hour work weeks together.
Yeah.
In and out, right?
Yeah.
Blue-collar guys that are doing everything that they can for baseball and their families, and then they come out and they lay it all on the field.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. That was my favorite moment.
There you go. And
we lost our Instagram feed.
As we closed the show, Instagram went down on us. So those of you on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube watching right now, you guys get to hear us close out the show. But my favorite moment, Barstool Barn Burner Classic, Roman's favorite moment, the Sandlot Baseball Bash, 2 events that we hope to have back soon. 2 events that were extremely fun and brought together the meaning of the field, the love of the game, and the importance of having a great time.
How's it going?
It was both events were phenomenal. The whole year, to look back and think that all of that happened this year.
It's a milestone year. It's historic.
Crazy.
In so many different ways.
It was an eventful year, and they only get more eventful from here.
Yeah, we had a Guinness World Record breaking dog at the Field of Dreams this year. I mean, just this week.
Yeah.
Lot going on.
I also heard we had a chicken that can tell the future.
What?
Yeah, among other strange things that happened, we had a future-telling chicken that has a podcast that was out at the field over the summer. So that goes up there with the dog who can run the bases.
Yeah. Just a lot of off-the-wall stuff.
I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head, but tons of funny moments, amazing moments to look back on.
You know what? The hog line need to bring out a pig onto the field next year, like a little piglet.
Maybe we add a piglet to the field next year. We don't know.
That'd be fun. We had a dog on the bases. What about
we're all for the strange storylines, folks. We are a baseball field in the middle of corn,
and that would be
in Dyersville, Iowa.
Would that be fitting?
It would,
because Iowa's the largest pork producer in the United States.
But not only that, but the fact that we exist where we exist is a strange storyline within itself, and that's the lovable aspect of it. Yeah, when it comes down to it,
love it.
So bring your animals out. Bring your cats. Bring your dogs. Bring your birds. We're the Field of Dreams. That's the
Love it. Love it. Well, you heard it here. Bring your pet to the field from Tucker and Roman. Tucker LaBelle, social media coordinator. Roman Weinberg, Director of Ops, Field of Dreams movie site. This has been another episode of the Bringin It Home Show. And have a great weekend. Set those watches back for adjust your watches for daylight savings here coming up Sunday, November 7th. And as always,
keep dreaming, guys. We'll see you soon.
Nice. That was fun.